Positive for using illicit drugs. 2 corrections officers are forced on administrative leave after the local prison does a department-wide drug test.
The test done a couple weeks back was unannounced. This happening as DepCor works to further prevent drugs and other types of contraband from being smuggled into the Manila facility.
DepCor is investigating 2 of their own.
They both tested positive for crystal meth.
Prison leaders confirming those corrections officers have only been with the department for less than 3 years.
A good majority of our officers are dedicated professionals, and they frown upon situations like this.
Both officers were put on admin leave this past Tuesday and will not be allowed to return to work for 20 days. An internal affairs investigation is underway, and from there, Director Tony Lamarena says he will hand down their final disciplinary action. He adds the investigation will also look into whether or not they might have smuggled in contraband as well.
While this is certainly not the best news, it is in the best interest of the department to be consistent in the high expectations of our officers and civilian staff.
Its expectations and accountability concerns Lamarena says the department is bringing to the forefront. The department today detailing Operation Green Vigilance that includes steps implemented to prevent contraband from getting inside. The efforts include the prison's growing surveillance system, partnership with Guam Customs to perform random searches, and most recently metal detector wands used at all entrances in both Manila and Hagåtña. DOC also recently bought 100 iConnect radios for its officers with the intent to further restrict mobile phone access on the compound.
On a side note, DepCor is working with the FBI to track down the owner of a drone they found near the Post 5 unit last Friday. That investigation is ongoing. Now, more partygoers take the stand in day 6 of the trial against UOG's Dr. Michael Ellert, the final witness today, one of Ellert's accusers.
Emotions ran high as the victim recalled her encounter with her psychology professor and advisor in the water. We must warn you, this report contains graphic language. Back in November 2014, HR was 19 years old. Students were invited to Dr. Michael Ellert's EPEN home to celebrate the end of a major project. After dinner and drinks at the house, the party moved to the nearby beach where HR alleges Ellert digitally penetrated her. Shaking and in tears, she recalled the events for jurors today.
I was sitting in the water and I was facing towards the shore with my friends to my right. And there were other people on my left on this side. And I remember Dr. Ellert coming up from behind me. And I remember he was on this side. And I could smell his breath. It smelled like alcohol, of course. His head in front of me. And he puts his hands inside my underwear. And he's whispering to me. And he's like moaning and stuff, and he's saying like, "Oh baby," and stuff. And I was in shock and I was scared. And he puts his finger in my vagina.
According to HR, another girl identified only as Naomi pulled her away from Ellert. Earlier that night, she recalled Ellert making a disturbing statement while playing the game Don't Judge Me, But.
I remember at one point in the game Don't Judge Me, But, he mentioned that he would want to sleep with a student.
When asked why she didn't participate in UOG's investigation into Ellert, more tears flooded down her face.
It was just very difficult for me to speak with someone, because I was really just blaming myself for everything that had happened. And it was hard for me to go up and tell them, just as it is now, but so I didn't. I just kept it in, and I just tried to stay focused and tried to get away, tried to deal with it myself.
As of today, 5 women have testified against Ellert, alleging unwanted sexual encounters with the professor at similar parties. Only 3 of those victims reported the incidents within the statute of limitations, resulting in the charges against him to date. Trial will resume on Tuesday. The pair accused in the brutal beating of a Department of Corrections detainee back in March will go to trial next month. Jeremiah Shizaki and Albert B. Santos II are being charged with the attempted murder of DOC detainee Justin Meno. More than 1,000 pages of discovery in the case have been filed, and attorneys have until August 9 to file any motions. Ishizaki is currently serving a 7-month sentence in federal prison for violating his release conditions. Trial is set to begin on August 21st. Meantime, Superior Court Judge Michael Bordalio granted the alternate public defender's motion to withdraw as legal counsel for Menno due to a conflict. Menno continues his recovery at GMH. He has yet to answer to the charges in court as he is still unable to talk or physically leave the hospital.
One of the suspects accused in an armed robbery that involved a tourist stop at Two Lovers Point last month has been released from prison. Xavier Tatauta was released to a third-party custodian today. He was the alleged driver of the stolen getaway car, while Jeremy Allen Evaristo was the one who allegedly had the gun. Both face charges of second-degree robbery. Court documents state the pair drove up and Evaristo allegedly held a woman and her 9-year-old daughter at gunpoint. They took off with the victim's backpack, money, and passports. The pair will now go before the court again on August 3rd. Well, he had no intention of committing a crime. This from ex-cop Manuel Perez, who addressed the court on Thursday morning during his sentencing. Perez and his wife Renee were arrested earlier this year after a raid on their Chalampago home uncovered small bags of the drug ice and drug paraphernalia. Perez told the court today he never discovered drugs, only drug paraphernalia, though he tried to get his wife some help. He admits he could have been more stringent. Perez has since pleaded guilty to hindering apprehension and official misconduct, both misdemeanors. He was fired, but has since reached a settlement agreement with GPD, which allowed him to resign instead. The prosecution recommended a 6-month sentence. Defense, however, argued Perez should only serve probation as he has to support his family, adding that Perez is currently unemployed and must care for his young children while his wife is incarcerated. The court requested more time to hand down a sentence. A continued sentencing hearing is set for September 14th.
3 more clergy sex abuse lawsuits filed in the District Court of Guam today. 44-year-old KQ alleges he was sexually molested by Father Ray Takira, who is now deceased. While attending San Vicente Catholic School, KQ alleges he and 4 other boys were being disciplined by the priest when he told them to drop their pants. The priest then allegedly fondled and kissed each of the boys' private parts. 56-year-old AM and 56-year-old DM allege they were sexually molested by Father Louis Brouillard. AM alleges he was raped by the priest in the shower. When he told the priest he would tell his grandmother, Brouillard said, quote, "To get over it, it will pass," end quote. DM, meanwhile, says Brouillard seized every opportunity to touch the boys.
Well, missing money at the Guam Department of Education led to an oversight hearing before lawmakers Thursday morning. Isabaza reports.
It's an active investigation involving an alleged $8,000 in missing money at Agata Johnson Middle School.
I will defer any comments that pertain to the specifics in order to maintain the integrity of the investigation. I want to assure you, though, that we do take that concern seriously, and it has been on our radar as a high priority. It's even risen to the level of us filing a police report.
Superintendent John Fernandez said the money in question was part of non-appropriated funds, or money raised by teachers and parents for school activities.
On a yearly basis, GDOE reports upwards of $2 to $2.5 million in NAF that are on the books at any one time. This amount is divided across roughly 50 separate bank accounts and over 900 subledgers.
DOE Chief Auditor Frank Cooperner said extensive measures are in place to monitor and reconcile non-appropriated funds across 40 different schools. Adding external audits of DOE have found significant improvement in recent years. However, the heavy use of cash creates a continual risk.
And even with a perfectly designed system with strong controls and a very effective audit team, if there is malicious intent to deceive or manipulate the system, there's always going to be that risk for misappropriation. We're improving the system such that even though it's cash and there's a high level of risk, it's going to be a tolerable risk.
Meanwhile, Guam Education Board Vice Chair Maria Gutierrez and Senator Joe San Augustine also raised concern that the department doesn't monitor funds raised by parent-teacher organizations, and it's unclear how many are registered with the Department of Revenue and Taxation.
It's true, Senator, some of them are not registered. They've been doing fundraising and they're not registered.
You're saying you got about $2 to $2 million in the non-appropriate with the schools. They should be very close to maybe $2 million floating out there, the PTO.
Senator San Augustine and Senator Will Castro said they plan to look at how the legislature can help better protect NAF funding in the future. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
Thanks, Isa. And just a quick note, administration officials announcing that $3 million in tax refunds will be mailed out, covering all who filed by February 8th.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment. No more long lines. And you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
Samsung Galaxy S8 for just $99 or the S8 Plus for just $199 at IT&E.
Hyundai's summer clearance event is happening now. Guam's best dealership, Cars Plus and Mighty, with financing as low as 1.99.
Running from the church, and only then began to understand why she wasn't allowed to attend Mass that day.
My two aunts and my dad said, let's get out of here. We had a Jeep at the time, so we all rode in the Jeep, going all the way to hide somewhere.
My grandfather, Paul McDonald Calvo, also shared his memories of the occupation and his family's part in hiding George Tweed.
If they found out that we are hiding George Tweed, they'll kill us.
But you weren't hiding him.
He was moving from one place to another. And you see our house now, it's on this cliff. Halfway down, they can make a cave for him to hide. It's not us. But we are, I was 9 years old when we were there, but it was my uncle.
For many in our family, this is the first time hearing these stories.
Like I said, when I made a mistake and I didn't take off my shoes to go see the Nakahase, and pow! Kick me and back. And then I'm supposed to try not to take off my shoes to get into school.
My grandmother was also among those forced to walk to the Menengan concentration camp. She talked about being led out of Menengan, apparently in anticipation of America's return to recapture Guam.
I think the Japanese knew already that the Americans landed in Asanloa, PT. So some of the Marines, they came over to us in Menengan and guided us over, some of us, to, and this was nighttime. In fact, Paul, I cannot forget, we were stepping on dead bodies.
What?
That's what happened.
Dead bodies. They only walk us at night.
They would eventually find each other and marry. Today they have 8 children, 24 grandchildren, 13 great-grandchildren, and 1 more great-grandchild on the way. They are rich in love and family and never let a day pass without thanking God.
The good Lord was so gracious in
sparing your life.
Us.
Si Diyos maasi for sharing your stories, Grandma and Grandpa. Hugwai Zahao.
As part of the events to commemorate the island's 73rd liberation, a special memorial mass was held on Big Navy at the Sumai Cemetery. Prior to World War II, Sumai was a thriving fishing community and commercial hub for ships. It was known as the Pearl of the Island. When the Japanese invaded Guam, it was one of the first places they bombed. Santa Rita Mayor Dale Alvarez and his staff organize the mass every year. The mayor's mother is a war survivor.
She loves talking about Sumai, but when it comes to what happened when she's saying and they're fleeing, she started crying, you know. And like my Uncle Harris, who's here this morning, and he said he really feels pain, but he's glad to be here. But every time he comes here, he thinks back, and it hurts him because they were all running hand in hand, and he even made a joke just to forget the pain, I guess. And man, if I'm in the shoe business, I'll be a rich man, because plenty shoes were left behind because they were running barefoot, you know, when they start bombing Sumai.
Which he made, binding.
After the war, residents of Sumai were relocated to Santa Rita.
Well, our KUAM Studios has been her home for decades, but once a year she goes beyond the music to host the island's most significant event commemorating our liberation, and she's been doing it for 20 years. Sabrina Salas-Matanani reports.
She's the First Lady of Chamorro Radio, Helen Uggan. This Southern beauty from Agate, Island Girl, has been charming listeners for decades.
Every day I look forward to coming in here because I know that people are happy with what we play on this studio, on this station. They get happy, and that's our accomplishment for a radio station. That's why I enjoy my job.
A disc jockey on KUAM's Isla 63 AM, she is the epitome of island pride. It's no wonder she's been chosen to MC the annual Liberation Parade at the Grandstand for 20 years. She recalls the first time she was asked to host with the late Señor Ed Beneventi. Island Girl recalls having a beautiful bright yellow dress sewn for the occasion.
I did that with him, and when I came, he was on his T-shirt, really relaxed with his family. He said, Island Girl, like we're going to MC with you, and we were on top on the stage. And then I realized that, dang, I look like a banana tree up here, you know, but ripe bananas. If I had clothing to change, I would have run to the bathroom and changed, but it was beautiful. Then from there on, you start learning, right? Okay, now go down there and just relax.
Over the years, she's seen many changes with the parade, but one thing that never changes is the reason why we commemorate liberation. Island Girl's mother is a war survivor. She says her mother survived because of a man named Ben Biku. At the Menengan concentration camp, Tun Ben pulled her mother aside and warned them the Americans were coming to save them. This news gave them the will to live, to persevere, to hold on to hope.
Every time she says the story, she cries because she was only like 14 years old. And I salute that man. I don't know him, never met him, but he'll always be in my heart, in my mind, because he gave me a mother. You know, so I thank him and the family.
So when you head to the parade on Friday, please remember the stories of Tun Ben Biku and the sacrifices of those made during the war so that we can enjoy freedom today. And if by chance you're by the grandstand, make sure to stop by and say hello to Island Girl.
It's a great gift to meet people, no matter who they are or where they come from. To me, it's a gift. It's a great gift.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
Last-minute preparations are underway this hour as Guam celebrates its 73rd Liberation Day tomorrow.
Yeah, earlier today, our Valerie Maiga got a glimpse of the route as the Liberation Day Parade grandstand went up and spectators gathered to save those spots. But Val also ran into a group of special men and women. Here's her story.
In the midst of the Liberation Parade preparations, the 3rd Marine Division from Okinawa was working on cleaning up one of their memorials. But the last week has been much more sentimental than that. The group has spent the last 4 days taking history lessons on Guam's liberation from one of their own. Sergeant Major Vincent Santiago is with the 3rd Marine Division, but is also from Maritzo. Santiago took the division on a 2-day battle site tour.
We retraced our division
during the liberation of Guam. So we retraced. We started off at Ascent Point, landed on the beach, went up to Fonte Plateau.
From July 21, 1944 until the last day of organized fighting on August 10th, the 3rd Marine Division fought through the island's jungles. During these 21 days of fighting, the division captured over 60 square miles of the island and killed over 5,000 enemy soldiers. The next 2 months saw continuous operations in which the Marines continued to engage leftover Japanese forces. Santiago says the division also toured World War II exhibits at the Guam Museum, leaving many of them humbled and honored.
I think it was really powerful for them to walk into the museum and read and hear about the experiences of all those who survived the atrocities here. But it really gave them a really grounded aspect of what it meant to be, one, Guamanian, and two, a Marine liberating the island.
Marines travel to Guam as part of the Liberation Day Parade multi-unit color guard. The parade kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. from Adaloop to the Chief Kapua statue. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Valerie Maige.
Thanks, Val. Well, coming up, Chris has your day in sports, but first a look at your Liberation Day weather.
What can I say? My family was tired of seeing red from internet data caps. We switched to GTA and life is good again. Sure, it took a bit of time for some of us to adjust to our newfound internet freedom.
Don't turn off the show. How does it end?
Relax, honey. The data limits are gone. You can watch the whole show now.
But we're all happy with the change, and I think it's even earned me some cool points.
You rock, Mom.
That's right. It's getting lit up in here. How about that?
Okay. So I need to finish this homework now.
Okay, I'm done. My son, though, he's in the midst of a serious rebellion. Rebelling against an alien invasion, that is.
Free yourself. Switch to GTA Home Internet today. Truly unlimited with no data caps or additional usage fees.
I prepare. I train. Through strength, determination, and focus, I work hard to achieve my goals. That's why I secure my future with Alpha Insurers. This is what makes you an Alpha.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidza Smaasi Matson.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade. Step up to GMC with 17% below MSRP on specially equipped Sierra SLT models. That's nearly $11,000 on this Sierra.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Off a day, Guam. Chris Barnett with sports. Webis, woohoo! I want to say business because it's Thursday, but it's like Friday because tomorrow's a holiday. Know what I'm saying? It's all proudly brought to you by Triple J, KUAM Sports. Let's get right to it. Third annual Alumni Beach Volleyball Tournament and Mixer going down from 2 to 6 p.m. July 28th at the Beach Bar and Grill. Tournament format, co-ed 3-on-3 with one female on the court at all times. Teams with no ladies can still play with a penalty. Cost $15 per player. Roster limited to 5 players per team. Cheerleaders and families are welcome. Register now. Sign up as a team or solo to join the super team. To sign up, call 646-8080 or email Michelle at development@stjohns.com or visit stjohnsguam.com. Guam National Tennis Federation hosting the 2017 Junior Tennis League for players 12 to 18 years old. The league starts July 29th, running for 4 weeks. Games taking place from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at the Rick Nanetti Tennis Courts in Agutna. Entry fee $5 per person. Deadline to register tomorrow. You can contact Michelle Pang at 478-4683, extension 309, or Dale Kim at 478-4683, extension 307, or you go online at gntf.org. 2017 Annual Children's Smiles for Hope Golf Classic Tournament sponsored by Chasing Rainbows and organization, scheduled for August 12th at the Guam International Country Club in Dedito. $125 per person. 2-man team is $240. Show noon, shotgun 1 p.m. No metal spikes allowed on the course. All right, only jazz spikes. Proceeds to benefit underprivileged children in the community and GPD. Checks payable to Chasing Rainbows and organization. Deadline for registration, August 11th. For more info, call, text, or WhatsApp Liz Flickinger at 483-4852. Team Guam's Cal Ripken All-Stars have their backs against the wall at the 2017 Pacific Southwest Regional Tournament. Guam's 9-under All-Stars have dropped their first 2 games in the tourney. Their first game, a heartbreaker of an L to the host team, Utah, 4-3 in extra innings. Team Guam lost their second game, 14-1 to Central Cal. Central Cal being the tournament's defending champions. The boys have played better than the scores would indicate, as they have only allowed the 3rd most runs in the tournament, despite their 0-2 record. Tournament taking place in Valley City, Utah. Team Guam plays Southern Cal Friday, Guam time. The team made up of 13 kids representing the island very proudly, and Guam fans can follow the action's stats at pacificswbr.siplay.com. Aaron Elliott dethroned defending champ Jeremiah Camacho in the monthly finals of the Bud King of the Lanes by 3 pins. The finale looked like a possible repeat for the junior competitor as Elliott opened on his first frame. He would settle down and find his strike line, nailing a turkey gobble-gobble to recover from the miss. Elliott's consistency put the game out of reach. James Doyle claimed his first Aloha Made Prince of the Lanes title of the year, knocking off Aya Salandanan in the finals. Doyle took advantage of a nervous Salandanan in the early frames to erase the 41 pins handicap deficit and comfortably run away from the top seed. All right, you guys have a great 3-day weekend. Woohoo! My name's Chris. Catch Double D on the show tomorrow, and I will see you Tuesday. Till then, you keep on shining. Adios!
It's Nissan's Stay Fit sales event.
Fitness is important. You Nissan service pros are like trainers for my car's fitness.
Now check out this heart racing deal. Rogue starting at just $137 per pay period. The top safety pick Rogue, yours starting at $137 per pay period. And your new car fit kit includes free service, free car washes, and your own personal fitness watch.
Keeping it fit and clean with free car washes leaves me more time to focus on keeping myself fit.
The Stay Fit sales event. Find out more at Nissan Upper Tumon or online at NissanGuam.com.
Get 50% off right now on all appliances at Dial Rent to Own. Need a range? Get one right now for 50% off. Want an electric or gas range stove? We have both. We have in-stock refrigerators and freezers. Washers and dryers are 50% off too. We have only the best name brands at Dial Rent to Own. No matter what style you need, all appliances are 50% off. So why wait? Save at Dial Rent to Own.
You can't choose who sits next to you. But at least you can choose 2 of your favorites from McDonald's McPick 2 menu.
Choose any 2 at McDonald's for $3. A McDouble sandwich, a medium fry, or a medium drink. McPick 2 for $3 for a limited time.
My job is to protect. My job is to defend. My job is to be tough. That's why I train. That's why I need those who are tough around me. That's why I need a truck like this. Are you ready for a big boy truck?
America's best-selling truck for 40 years straight. When you're ready for a big boy truck, Triple J.
Deborah, Auntie Dar, and Diana, Uncle Jason and Auntie Sarah, Uncle Johnny, Chris, and Auntie Sherry. May you have more B-days to come and enjoy your special day. We all love you so much, and God bless with you and bless you always. Happy birthday, Angelina Maria Solis Tidegui. Happy birthday to you, Angelina. In Alameda, California, love Keisha, Auntie Nish, Uncle Kevin, Grandma and Grandpa Tidegui, and the family on Guam. Wish you were here. Hugs and kisses.
Yeah, and remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Just register online, KUAM.com. Include your photo, your name, and your birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here on the News Desk. But stay tuned. In the Mix is next.
See you at the parade.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.